Okay, that did it. All right, well, good evening, everybody from near and far. My name is Pastor Tara McNair, affectionately known as Rev T, to all of the kids in the neighborhood. And I'm just so grateful to see so many familiar names and familiar faces. We've been at this since, I've been at it since 2009, and SEP has been around since 2005. We're stronger than ever, pandemic aside and all of that. We believe that we're stronger than ever now because we learned how to power pivot and all that good stuff. But what we want to start with tonight, we just want to hear your voice. And so if you would very quickly, if you would just share your name and your organization and a fruit or a vegetable that best describes you. Share your name, your organization, and a fruit or vegetable that best describes you, okay? All right, Lupe, who is the SEP Peer Mentor Administrator, I'll ask her to start, and I just also want to acknowledge, where is she? Kayla Lacey, who a former One East Palo Alto and still doing stuff for One East Palo Alto. She's here tonight. She's a master technician for this, what do you call this stuff? Zoom. She's a Zoom specialist. So to speak. And so we are just so grateful for all those things that we don't even need to think about taking them for granted, because it just makes sense to acknowledge those who do the things that they do. All right, so Lupe, if you would start, and then if you all would just kind of pop up and introduce yourselves, make sure you're on screen just for that. If you choose to go back to less than that, and if your name, so that we can identify you and make sure we have a picture of who you all are. Make sure that your first and your last name are on the screen. We document everything throughout this program, and it's just important that we have a record of all that participate in all of our endeavors. Okay. All right. So Lupe, go. And
all right.
I'm watching.
Thank you, Pastor T. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Lupe Ma'afu. I'm actually a proud SCP alumni. I was part of the 2016 class, and I'm very blessed to be back and participate as a staff member, as a peer mentor administrator of the Sponsored Employment Program of this year. If I had to pick a fruit or a vegetable that represents me, I think I would say a broccoli, because it reminds me of a tree and growth. So it's a physical resemblance of what I'm trying to do every day.
All right, for broccoli. All right. Somebody else. Let's hear from anybody. Come on, pop it up, pop it up.
I can go next. I have my hand up.
Okay.
Hello, Victoria here. Hello, Rev T. Hello, Lupe. Great to be in this space. I am a former alumni peer mentor. That's where I started. Banana. I'm feeling like a banana today.
All right, Toga Victoria. All right. Also one of our local authors. Okay, all right. Somebody else. Don't be shy.
Okay, I'll go.
All right, Mr. Norfleet.
Jesse Norfleet, longtime community activist, youth worker, worked with a lot of programs currently, and also longtime employee of Mid-Penn Media Center. And we've been fortunate enough to house students for most of those 19 years, or at least the second half of them anyway.
Yes.
And I'm happy to see some faces that I know here, especially some of the younger ones who were either in the program and may have been an intern of ours, or just someone I knew from school. Vegetable, I would say spinach.
All right, spinach. All right, Jesse Norfleet, spinach. All right, somebody else. Thank you.
May I follow?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Lubov Spitsina, and I'm co-worker of Jesse. So I'm also from Mid-Penn Media Center. I'm director of education, and I'm looking forward this summer. We're gonna host a lot of camps, a lot of fun things to do for the local youth. And I think I am a tart cherry.
All right, very good. Somebody else.
I'm Donna Rutherford, and longtime resident, former member of the East Palo Alto City Council and School Board,
All right.
Mayor. Jesse actually took my vegetable, spinach, but I think I'll say a cucumber because I'm cool as a cucumber.
All
Most of the
right.
time.
Very good. All right, somebody else.
I'll go next. My name is Alicia McKean, longtime resident of East Palo Alto, former consultant for Nuestra Casa, and just here to be anything that Rev T needs me to be. I would say that I will go with the watermelon because I say that for a small price, I bring great value.
All right, we like that. All right, somebody else.
Tiffany Uhila Hotel here with Anamatangi Polynesian Voices, and I'll go with the mango. Happy to be here. Thanks.
All right, somebody else.
I'll go Lakiba Pittman, longtime volunteer in the community, professor at Menlo College. Haven't been here the last couple of years, but before that was an interviewer, so I'm happy to be back. And my fruit is blueberry because they're dark and sweet.
Okay, all right, somebody else.
I am Mama D. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
The fruit is pineapple. Good
All
to
right.
be here.
All right, very good. Somebody else. Just jump right in.
Hi guys. Sorry, I want to do my camera, but oh, here you go. Wait, sorry. Oh, can you see me? Sorry, I'm like feeding my son at the same time.
Oh.
My name is Loisy Fancy Molly, but I was invited by my best friend. She works for Cora, but I grew up in EPA, and since I was in middle school, I volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club. And then while I was in college during summer breaks, I worked at the YMCA in EPA. And then I worked at Kip Valiant, where it used to be McNair. I worked there. And my favorite fruit is pineapple. I'll be pineapple.
All right, thank you so much. All right. Somebody else.
Hello, I'll go next.
All right.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Carrera. I'm a resident and also staff at the local David Lewis Reentry Center here in the community. So thank you. Oh, and I'll be corn.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Good. Somebody else.
Hi, my name is Califia. I'm part of college track, and I think I would be a potato.
Okay, all right, Miss Califia. All right. Somebody else. We're almost there.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ophelia Bello. I'm with Youth United for Community Action. So good to see you, Lupe, all the beautiful faces here. I think I would be an avocado.
All right. Avocado. All right. Somebody else. Let's get it done. There's just a couple of more. We're waiting to hear from you. And then we'll move on.
I can go next.
Okay.
My name is Alamoni. I'm with Cora, and I would choose a tarot. And nice to see everyone.
Good to see you too. All right, thank you so much. Who else?
Hi, I'll go next. Hi, I'm Esepa Uhila. I am a 2005 SEP alumni. I am a program coordinator at Anamatangi Polynesian Voices. And hello, it's nice to be here. And I'll be a coconut because I am a coconut. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, thank you. And I think there's just one more.
Hello.
Two
Hi,
more.
everyone. My name is Genesis. I'm a youth leader for Anamatangi Polynesian Voices. I would be a cucumber.
All right, 2 cucumbers in the house. All right, very good. All right, I think we have 1 or 2 more and then we're off and rolling.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Sam. I work for Winnie's Palo Alto. I would be Kale. Great to see everyone.
All right, Kale over there. All right, I think 1 more. And move on.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ingold. I'm not currently affiliated with an organization, but I've been a resident of East Palo Alto all my life, and I would say I would be a sweet potato.
All right, a sweet potato. Okay, all right, and I do believe, help me out, Lupe, that's everybody, isn't it? All right, if I miss you, charge it to my head and not my heart. All right, let's move on. And with everybody introduced and everybody knowing one another, we want to now present to you our slideshow, or rather a very quick look at what the summer of 2023 will be like. As you can see from the agenda, I'm assuming that everybody got the agenda pack. It looks like a lot. Guarantee you, I know how to do a meeting so that your time is well spent. It is now 6:18. All right, so we're going to take a look at what's new with SEP. All right, and as you can see from the photos that are in front of you, I'll just highlight a couple of things there. We have for years been saying that excellence is above and beyond what's required, and that is the way of life, that is the way of work. In 2016, we began to put together a book, which you'll see in the right next to the sponsored employment program, 2023. We put together, we now have a manual, 7 Principles of Workplace Excellence, where mentors, when they come in, have a guideline in terms of what they want to impart to the young people that they are responsible for. And the rest of that, and then our theme for this summer, you'll see in the left-hand corner from where I'm sitting, and it's shake the dust off your feet and bring your best you to the table year. And that's what we will be doing and instructing and imparting and modeling for the young people, so that because many of you in here are or have applied to be employer sponsors. And we want you to know that we are going to be training the young people to really add value to what you all are doing this summer. And we want to be drilling it into them until they get it. Next slide, please. So what's cooking for 2023? Some of these people that are in this photo, I'm not going to say they have grandchildren now, but this is a pretty dated photo, but I love it. And a lot of these people are very much grown. And if you're in the room and your face is on that, well, bless you. So we're looking at hiring 40 this year. They will range in age from 14 to 24. We call them, and have since 2009, SEP professionals. We call them that, and then we do all that we can to make sure that it's not just a name, but it's a lifestyle that they can take with them when they go into the workforce, when they go back to school or wherever. So there'll be 40 of them, and they'll be recruited and trained. Again, that word, add value to a variety of work sites. And we're also interested in them advancing in their career plans, sharpening their professional skills. And where you come in all throughout the summer is giving them access to people like you so that the young people can build a network of local role models for now and the future. For years, we've had what we call a community, a village of caring adults that have really just poured into the young people that come through the sponsored employment program. Next slide. I'll take a breath in a minute and you can ask me a question. But let's go to the next slide. That's kind of the what's cooking. And as has been the tradition with the sponsored employment program, they will be hired and placed in 4 cohorts or teams led by 4 peer mentors, college students, and influenced by a stream of career professionals. We have been in interviews for 2 days, looking at just a dynamic group of college students. And we are down to the place now where tomorrow we have to make a decision. I mean, these college students are bringing it. And we really have some hard choices to make. And that will begin to happen tomorrow, a lot earlier than when we have usually hired our peer mentors. Okay, next slide, please. Some of you will recognize the sites. Some of you will recognize some of the individuals. This is 19 years of some of these photos are 17 or 18 years old or less. And the SEP professionals, that's our group of 14 to 24-year-olds. They'll be trained and equipped to serve and add value to over 17 local work sites in the fields of education, technology, television, maintenance, environmental justice, childcare, elder care, farming, etc. And so there are all kinds of ways, and I think our number is even greater than 17 work sites now. We may be at 19. But this is the way SEP has flowed, except for during the pandemic. This is the way that SEP has flowed since I got here in 2009, and we have an alumni from 2005. It has always been that they come to us for training, and then we send them into community organizations, some corporate and et cetera, and they work, they come back to us for more training, and we proceed like that during the summer. And throughout the summer, there's a stream of career professionals seeding into their lives. And boy, does all of that make a difference. Anybody have any questions? Because I'm revved up and going kind of fast. So if you have any questions, you may ask them now. Any questions? All right, let's keep going. I almost got dinner on the stove. All right. So here they are. The SEP professionals are paid $16.50 an hour, and they're with us for 21 hours a week. There are 3 afternoons of orientation and training, and then they will spend 3 hours weekly in dynamic trainings, and the remaining 18 hours at their assigned work sites. Okay, and so it's a 21-hour-a-week job for them at $16.50 an hour, and it's part training, and the rest of it is the actual work at your sites if you're an employer sponsor, or at one of the 17 sites that we'll be sending them to. Okay, let's keep going. All right, and so we've been toiling over the training and pulling. Some of you have gotten calls from us because we are very much interested in tapping, as we have always done, into the community to bring to the young people the training that they need through the lips of people that they may be familiar with. And so they, of course, get the soft skills. Our 7 principles of workplace excellence becomes bone of their bone. literally. We do a lot of cross-culture sharing and involve them in that. They know how to dress before they leave here, as well as what employee responsibilities are. And they get a lot of information about the joy and the pleasure of overcoming obstacles. They also get the opportunity to preview careers, to know how to prepare for those. There's interviewing and resume training. We are, like the organization One East Palo Alto, we are bent on making sure that they are mentally and emotionally well. We know we can't send them away without giving them some tools so that they can manage their money. We know that one of the top skills that employers are looking for is problem solving and the ability to pivot on a dime. And so they'll get that this year, as well as some real core information on human trafficking and the dangers of that. Okay, so that for the most part is what our trainings will look like from beginning to end. All right, and of course we may throw in a few other things, but that is a full-blown picture of our trainings. And of course the peer mentors, when they come in, they're trained in a whole bunch of stuff. They have 40 hours of training before they before they even meet their young people. Okay, all right, next slide. So these are dates that we want you to take note of. If you have the packet that we emailed you, you also have it there. The actual interviews will be on Zoom, and it is the 5th. That is also a Monday, the 5th of June. We are now going to do because we have 100 applicants and 40 positions, we'll be doing the applicant selection in person on the 8th of June. And so it will be a very vigorous, but a very well done operation so that we can make the right choices to get those people, get the young people into the slots that we think would best benefit from the SEP experience. And then from there, we go to a hybrid orientation and training with them on those afternoons of the 22nd, 23rd, and 26th. We call it hybrid because the first 2 days it'll be on Zoom, and the third day we have a very powerful training that will take place at one of our partner sites. It'll be at College Track. Okay. They start their jobs, their first day of work is the June the 28th, and they work all the way up until the August the 2nd. And then on August the 3rd, we have a very special, very short graduation and awards presentation at the Bloom House. It is a drive-in presentation where parents and do not get out of their cars. They beat their horns and show support that away. And we do all kinds of things to recognize and make sure that the work that the young people have done this summer is recognized. And so it's a really powerful, I'd say about a 33-minute ceremony that we do that's packed with all kinds of good things. All right, next. All right, you might make that bigger. Anybody have any questions on the general scope of SEP this summer? Any questions? I can't see you. Oh, I see it. Was that a hand?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you go from the 100 people that will be interviewed on the 5th, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
And then do you know how many you select to actually interview in person?
Oh, no. What happens is all of the interviews will take place on the 5th. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay,
remember, just like before, you all will write those notes and all of that, good
Okay.
stuff. And then as many of you who desire to come and advocate or just participate in selections will be at University Avenue. And if you remember that
oh, got it.
process, it's on the board and we make sure everything is demographically cool and we make sure that those who have the greatest need rise to the top.
Okay,
That's our goal. But we're pretty good at it. We had the little break during the pandemic and didn't have as many kids, but this time we've got more than double. So we'll be really looking at that part of the process. Yes, ma'am. All right. So these are the instructions for you for what's coming. Some of you have been with us since 2012 or 13 and all of those years. And so you'll remember this. It's not very different from the in-person, but there are a few things that you need to know. So make sure that after, wait, where you going? Go back a little bit. Make sure that you have a chance on your own to read this before the 5th. But this first part of this is very important, is that how do you get the interview evaluation form and your applications? We're going to say that there are two ways. We can either, if you have the capacity to print them out, we can email them to you, the designated applications that you will interview, as well as the interview evaluation form where you write all your notes, or you can pick them up at the office on 2396 University Avenue. If you tell us that you are coming to pick it up, you won't have to do anything relative to printing. Okay, we'll print you even extra copies of the interview evaluation form. All right, so that's the main difference between this and our in-person. Okay, now you all that know me from way back when I say interviews will begin promptly on Zoom at 5, there'll be no 5-minute whatchamacallit. We have to hit on time. And so it says on this that we'd like you to sign on at 4:45, but I'd like to amend that and ask you to please sign on by 4:30. There are always something technical going on, and we want interviewers in before the mass number of young people come in. So if you possibly can get there by 4:30, that would be great. And at best 4:45 if you just can't help it. Okay, make sure you are signed on. We want to do sound checks and make sure that we know where you're going, and our folks that will be moving us about the room or moving us into the break rooms are pretty good at it, and so they're trained by Kayla, who took us all the way through the pandemic with not a single itch. It was indeed very smooth. And so, all right. So the way it works is that half of the applicants will sign in at 5 p.m. for an orientation. And the orientation is about 7.5 minutes long. Okay. And then the other half will come at 6. So the first part of the alphabet will come at 5, and the second half will come at 6, so that we won't have a waiting room full of people. And so we'll do that 7.5-minute orientation at the beginning for those that are there, and then we'll repeat that at 6 o'clock. And then basically you come in and you will be sent to the various break rooms that you've been assigned. Okay, so you won't even have to walk. Okay, scroll down a little bit, please. Some of you all probably recognize some of those people in that. Is that Lakiba over there? Yeah, that's Lakiba over there. There she is over there. Y'all see her? Okay. All right, a lot of people on there I recognize. All right, interviewers, now here's the thing. Interviewers, you're going to complete the interview and paperwork on all the applicants in the breakout rooms. And when you are finished with the first applicant, click on the bottom of your screen, leave room, and you'll return to the main room, and then we'll send you back for your next one, you and the applicant. Okay, everybody, does that make sense to you? And we'll keep repeating that. That's essentially how it works. Okay, and no walking involved. Okay, you push the button that says leave room, and that's our signal. When you come back into the main room, then we know you're ready for applicant number 2. In the actual interview, and this is something that is very, very important to make sure that our candidates get a really good, a good shot at getting the job. A lot of it is based on what you say and how you mark your interview form. Because we may not have had a chance to meet them, but you actually have a chance to meet them. Okay. Okay, so you're going to complete the interview and paperwork. Okay, now we did that one. All right, so and now here's an important note. Keep all of your paperwork until the end of the evening. And at the end of the evening, you scan and send your applications and your evaluations to me, or you can drop it off to me at the next day at the office at 2396, whatever is easiest for you. But we need the applications back, as well as those very important interviewer evaluation form with all of your notes on it. Okay, all right. Now, during the action, any questions so far?
Sorry, I missed something.
No, you're probably asking a question that somebody might have. Go ahead.
You said, did I miss how we get the application?
Yes, there were two ways to get your stack, your packet of applications and interview evaluation form. You may either pick it up or we'll email it to you.
Okay, got it.
Okay. The thing about emailing it to you is then you have to print it out, for yourself. So if you want to avoid that, then just stop by the office and we'll email you as the day gets close and say your packets are ready. Should we, email them to you, or should we, or will you come and pick them up? Okay, and the same thing is true once it's done. You can either email them back to us completed, or you can bring them in. Okay, all right, let's talk about the actual interview. Okay. In order to complete the interview process in a timely fashion and to offer the selection committee a complete and fair picture of each applicant's employment challenges, please consider the following suggestions as you fill out the applicant interview evaluation form. And take note or highlight this on your copy of this, that our overall goal is to serve the youth with the greatest challenges or barriers first, and then to get a true sense of whether they will fare well or greatly benefit from a summer of working excellently. Okay, swallow that if you would for a minute. That has not changed since in the 15 years that I've been a part of the sponsored employment program. It has always been about serving the youth with the greatest barriers or challenges first, and then added to that to get a true sense of whether they will fare well or greatly benefit from a summer of working excellently. All right. So, and these next points here have, most of you are familiar with these because of your, where you work and what you do in terms of bringing people into your various organizations. But we'll go over them anyway, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Rapport, of course, is essential that you establish rapport. Because if you've seen our application, there is a section there that asks them some very sensitive questions about their history, perhaps with the law, whether they are homeless or those kinds of things, and that may make young people feel uncomfortable. And so if you've got the rapport in place, then they'll share with you. And I will say it at the beginning, and you can say it too. Please feel free. Know that you're revealing these kinds of facts to us or sharing with us, that it will help you in this process. It may even get you the job, okay? And so rapport there, hobbies, interests, school, get on the same page with them, get them to relax. And then they can't hear this enough, that SEP aims to serve youth with challenges. So we definitely want them to tell the truth. Let them know that they can trust you, that the information is confidential. And we already know from looking at our 100 applicants that we have a lot of them that are in that 14, 15, 16-year-old range. So for some of them, it may be their first job. And so please keep that in mind, that it may be their first interview. Can you scroll up, please? We'll go to the next page. Make that look bigger. All right, appreciate you. And that it's your responsibility to bring out his or her best responses. You are really what interviewers past have said, and Kiva and Jesse and some of you all that have interviewed for years and years and years, you really are teaching them how to interview in the course of interviewing them. And so that's what makes it really, really fun. And so come up with your own questions, but we always like to save people time. So why do you want a job? What do you want to do best? Or what do you want to do when you grow up? Or what would you like to be doing 10 years from now? What's your best quality? And ask them anything that you think might build that connection and get them talking. Number 3 is just so very, very important. It ought to be written in bold. The confirming, because you'll have their application, confirm their contact information. That is so important. We also want you to make sure that what they put down on the application in terms of prior participation in SEP is that they've marked that. We've seen some applications that were not complete already. And so you have to make sure that the application is complete. That next point, whether the student will be attending summer school, is very important. Our employers are expecting us to send them people that are free in the daytime for the most part. And so if that's blank, we were counting on you to get us that information about their attending summer school. Note any changes on the application. We'll know that you made those changes. And then ask them if they will be available Monday through Friday from June 22nd through August the 3rd. Now it says Monday through Friday. And because we didn't want to use a lot of language, know that if a kid has a job on a Friday, that's okay, or if they have school on Fridays, because this summer SEP will be pretty much a Monday through Thursday operation after the trainings on Monday through Thursday. So, but just check their availability, because a lot of our younger ones and even some of the older ones, family vacations, all kinds of things. We need to know what their conflicts, time conflicts will be, okay, as well. Then you come to that section on the application that we refer to as barriers to employment. No, I'll talk about that when I get to the actual form. And then it says, ask questions that will confirm their career employment choices on the application. We want to be able to stream through career professionals that align themselves with align with the career and employment choices of the people that young people that we're working with. So spend a little time on those questions. And then if there is time, I always include a would you rather, which is a popular game for students. And that is, this one is, would you rather have perfect grades but no friends, or bad grades but many friends? And it's optional whether you use that or not. And so we've given you a short list of career interests, and then the option to write in other if there is something else that they are interested in pursuing as a career. The number 6, and I know that you're going to review this on your own before you come, and they'll hear some of these things in that 7.5 minutes, but in the beginning, but it's going to be important on that one-on-one that they hear it again. That's why we have given you these instructions, to make sure that you get the information from them and give the information to them that they will need. And that one-on-one, you can't beat that in terms of them actually hearing. So encourage them at the end and let them know that many young people have applied, but only a few will be chosen, and that they will hear from us by the 16th of June. Okay, and for you all, if you have any questions about any of the documents that we have emailed to you, you can email me or call me direct. You can call Lupe at that number. You've been corresponding with her, and we'll make sure that you know everything that you need to know before the 5th. Scroll on up, please, to the next page. Okay. So
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
A question about the interviews. I know there is a list of questions that you're not supposed to ask, that is illegal, that includes asking about, I don't know, family, like siblings, housing situation. Do you have a list of things? Because I know that the rules for that can change with times, and the list gets bigger and bigger.
Right, and so what we have done, make the information, the application, this is the application that we use that is also in their packet. And we very delicately ask them about that. And because of the structure of our program, that since 2005, it's been about hiring young people who have barriers to employment. There are some things that we have to ask or we won't know. And so when you ask for a list, what kind of list are you referring to?
I mean, questions that are illegal to ask, like whether you have kids, are you like, do you have siblings? And so on.
Look where it says there, it says on our application, do you have children? And what you'll see on the next form is that we are attempting to hire kids, as an example, who are teen parents.
Oh, I see.
Because that's one of our barriers. So we're not using this information against them. We're using it for them. And you'll see the barriers in a minute. And then, you know, you can, if you still have questions after that, you can, why don't we have a one-on-one about that? Because I think that because of the structure of our program, that we're not using this information against them, it is to their advantage, then we would not fall under that employment, what's legal and that kind of thing.
Got it. Thank you for the answer.
Okay, all right. Let's scroll up so that we can see the next form. Okay, so this is the interview evaluation form that you will fill out after you have confirmed the information on their application. And as I say, the challenging circumstances, the barriers to employment. The only thing we've done with this over the last, I'd say 10 or 12 years is add to it because of the changing times. In the selection process, we consider barriers to employment as much a demographic as the gender, the ethnicity, and all of that. We have 4 demographics that we look at numerically. And that is the gender, the ethnicity, the age, and then the number of barriers, okay? And so when you fill out this, once you've gotten this information from them and put that number there, that becomes something that we can, on the big screen when we're selecting, identify those that have the greatest amount of barriers. A lot of that will come from what you have learned about them, in addition to what they have put on their application. Ophelia.
Yes, thank you, Rev T. One quick question. Documentation, I do see the question more below. So sorry to jump ahead a little bit, but I think there was a question below about does the legal right to work in the USA. That is not, that's not a barrier, correct? In the sense that like this is not exactly something that undocumented youth could take advantage of. Is that correct?
Correct. The folks that my sister and those folks that gathered together in 2005 to put this together, they did everything. Those organizations did everything they could to try to make that happen. And when I came in 2009, you know, we tearfully had to refuse a couple of kids, and that was just, you know, they really did try on that one, but it is not something that we can get around. And unfortunately, they have to prove that they live in East Palo Alto and Belhaven, and that they do have a DACA paper or the legal right to work in the USA.
Understood. Yeah, that's super hard. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. All right. So what are we, again, these are the questions that, these are the ones that you're looking for information on. Challenging circumstances, some of them are on the application. Juvenile justice system involvement. And look at it in parentheses. We've added this over the years. It can be the applicant or the applicant's family. That would allow you to check it, and with 1 point getting the barrier. A lot of times, this kind of things, involvement with the justice system happens in families. Drug and gang involvement, the same thing. It could be the applicant or it could be members of their family. In any case, we've discovered that it can be a barrier. Parenting youth, this is a kid that either has a baby on the way or is pregnant now, or you know, the dads or the moms to be. Okay. Foster youth, in a group home, homeless, doubling up. There are many, many, many houses like that. And that is definitely a barrier that we have to pay attention to. So whatever it takes for you to get that information, we will greatly appreciate it, because one of the things that SEP does is when we learn that about a young person that is in our program, and we go out of our way, as you, I'm sure, do, to make sure that they're connected with help in every regard. Behind in credits, dropped out of high school, struggling to keep up in class, that is a barrier quite often. And so if you can get that piece of information for us, that would be great. Limited or no English language communication skills. We need that information. That is indeed a barrier. No work experience, that is also a barrier. So make sure you check that if this is their first job. Family on or eligible for TAFT or CalWorks, free or reduced lunches, food stamps, or other government programs. Very important information to demonstrate that this kid has a barrier. Physical, learning, or other disability. And note in parentheses, you can ask the young person if they have a case manager. And that indicates that there's perhaps the IEP situation, or that there's something else going on. They don't have to go into details, but we want to know, when you put total there, 1 point per barrier, we want as realistic a number as we possibly can, so that that young person can rise to the top. Is the applicant a former SEP participant? That's for our record keeping sake, yes and no, and where were they employed? And number 3, of course, is the question of questions. Are they planning to attend summer school? We have gone out of our way to do the absolute best we can to serve kids, even when they are in summer school. And so that's something that we often have to negotiate with the employer sponsors to be able to serve those young people. And we've done pretty good over the years. Does the applicant plan to go on vacation between June 22nd and August 3rd? June 22nd, if you remember, is their first day of orientation. August 3rd is the graduation. So verify that they are going to be here. And if they are not, write a note so that we will know as much as we can about their availability, about their barriers, or anything else that will make them a fit for this particular program. And then we just ask that next question, number 5, we just keep asking them, is there anything that would keep you from going to work and doing an excellent job every day? You'd be surprised at the number of responses that interviewers will put down for that, because it just takes it to another level. You may get to hear more of their story. Number 6, some of them have already provided the documents. The peer mentors, when they come on board, they will be going after getting all of those documents, because we can't hire people unless they are residents of East Palo Alto and East Menlo Park and have the legal right to work. So what we ask is, can you provide us the documents proving both that you are a resident and that you have the legal right to work? We gave them, when they filled out their application, a very spelled out sheet that said, what do I need to do to apply for SEP? And it even showed them pictures of the documents that they would need to produce. And so, we have learned over the many years to cover all of the bases, and we still learn from year to year. There's always something that comes up, and we'll make the adjustment as necessary. We're not stuck in cement. And we know we have to bend and flex, but we also have to make sure that the young people are safe, and we have to make sure that they are well taken care of, and that we are delivering what we say we will deliver. And then, even though there's just a little bit of space at the bottom of your interviewer's comments, you can write as much as you want. I always recommend to interviewers that if you want to advocate for a young person that you interviewed, you can put it there. You can send us an email saying, please, please, please hire. I learned that, et cetera, et cetera. Or you can show up for selections. And that's where we make those hard choices about who we will hire. We always invite to the training the 40 that we decided by the end of the evening, and we usually do a waiting list of about 10 to 12 young people, because you never know. We've learned that Sequoia District, as an example, sometimes does not tell a young person that they have to go to summer school until around the 27th or 26th of June, which is right before they would start work. And so that can greatly impact their availability. Okay, but we do want to hear your comments. You can bring them live to selections, but definitely write something in that space or on the back of that form that you will pick up, or have us email it to you. That you'll have to, your packet will be the kids that you will, the applications for the kids that you will interview on that night. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Don't see any hands.
I have
There is.
a
Okay.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So in prior years, sometimes you already knew the jobs. And so in the interview, they might say, I would like to work at, wherever the job was. Will we know this time? Will they know what jobs there are this time, or no?
Yeah, what we will do, and that's an excellent question. Lupi, would you make note of that? Because what we're going to do is we're going to produce available jobs. You're referring to the time when we had the job board up with the pictures, the positions, and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty good, and by the 5th, we should know absolutely. And so we will include it in the nutshell positions, because they will ask. And what we'll do also in that 7.5 minutes, we may show it on the screen, the jobs that are available. But what happens is that because we will have hired the peer mentors, there'll be a lot of interface with them, be leading up, say from the 15th on, even before orientation and training. They'll be talking to the kids about everything, getting to know them, because there really isn't a lot of time to get placement information, so we're gonna chunk out a little bit of time, more time for peer mentors who participate in the placement process to be able to interface with the kids. But that's an excellent suggestion, and we will definitely make sure that you have a list of work sites and a brief description of the jobs. We're closely resembling the job board that we had before, not quite as gorgeous as those were. But yes, thank you. That's a good one. Okay. I see another hand. A foot? No? Okay, everybody good? All right, the applicant need to know is, I won't go over it with you. This is just for reference. This is essentially what they will see or hear before we send them to you. That's why I can say that it's about 7.5 minutes. But again, the interface with the young people is we don't leave them in the dark about anything. So we will make sure that, you know, that they get the information that they need. That I know is our job. So this is what they essentially will hear before they come to see you in your break room. A little bit of an overview of the program. Just a little something to make them want to encourage them to do their absolute best when they come to see you and talk to you. Okay. Is there another page after that, or is that the last page?
I believe this is the last page, Pastor T.
Okay, all right, so let's go full screen then. And so I can see faces and see if faces look like they are question free. Okay, yeah. Okay, so once again, I ask, anybody have any questions? We don't want you to be in the dark in any way. And I just want to say again how appreciative I am. I know some of y'all are tired because you probably started work at 6 o'clock in the morning with your various organizations. So you have no idea how much we appreciate your coming and participating in this. And for those of you who have been employer sponsors since forever, I just love you to pieces. Thank you so much. We have almost arrived at the time that we said we would let you go. I don't believe in carrying if we don't need to. But please, if you have questions after tonight, after you look through it, is there anybody that did not get a packet? The interviewer's packet? You didn't get it, Jesse?
I think I did. I'll check email. I may have gotten it and just didn't notice it yet.
Okay, so would you all check your email, because we definitely sent those out, and just shoot us a text, say please send packet. If you discover that you don't have it, and we'll get it to you instantly. We want you to have it and be able to look them over, and you know, before the holiday weekend and stuff. Again, the 5th, those dates on there, the 5th, which is the actual hiring date, not hiring, the actual interviewing time. And then the 8th, when we'll be doing the selections. And again, that is, you know, if you have that availability and the passion for, and the time really to participate in that, I've never seen anything like it. And I've been in a lot of places and a lot of times. My first experience with that selections process was, wow. It was like, you know, the demographics were on a big sheet on the board, on the screen, the folders were there. On the screen they were rotating so that we could see, you know, the demographics that way. And then people were in folders, people were advocating for young people. There were facts that in young people's lives, things that they knew had happened since they applied that we needed to consider. It brought me to tears to see this community rally like that, almost gangster rally behind these young people to make sure that they had the opportunity that this program provides. So I know that we care deeply about them. We care deeply about you caring adults who just keep coming back. that just is such a demonstration of a community that we believe will last and thrive no matter what happens. So that said, it is now, oh my goodness, 7:11. You can only imagine what our graduation is like. When I name the time, it comes to pass. And this, we said we'd be done at 7:15. That's what it said on all of your paperwork. It is now 7:11. So you'll have time to go get that snack that we didn't provide for you. And hopefully you'll get the best night's rest tonight that you've ever had in your entire life. And I love you to pieces. Call me or text me, or what do you call that other thing? Email me with any questions that you might have between now and then. We appreciate you. And until the 5th, right before that, when you pick up your packet, we'll see you then. And thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Good night, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate you. You on mute. Mute. 7:11, that's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, we got through all of it. And what did Lakiba ask about? Well, I forgot that quick. I already put it down when I said it.
Lakiba asked, she said if
Jobs,
the
yeah.
jobs will be.
So we need a job sheet, available job sheet. And we'll create it with, yeah, we'll create that because we need one anyway for the peer mentors to go and do their investigation now. But we used to have one that was, when we had Miss Bertha, the one that would do 40 by 50 signs and stuff. We would have it on the board at job train where we would have interviews and they'd go back there while they were waiting to be interviewed.
Wow.
Tell us stuff. So anyway.
Awesome.
All right, my dear. So any questions?
That was really nice.
Yeah.
You know,
I hope they got
like
it.
how you mentioned.
Oh, wait a minute. We don't need to record you and me talking. This thing is gonna be long. And some people gonna need it. Stop.